I feel the Rangers are a little slept on, and I can't tell if they're being slept on despite being President's Trophy winners or because they're President's Trophy winners. And people saw what happened to the Bruins last year, and they're like, you know what? If you're a President's Trophy winner, you're a paper tiger. Why were the Hurricanes favored in this series? And do you think that this 2-0 series lead is commanding?
I mean, you're asking the wrong guy of why the Hurricanes were favored. I've been going at it with, me and Dom Lecision have been going at it in like a friendly way. Dom's a great dude, and
No, you hate
he
him.
put out like internally maybe, but not outwardly.
Okay.
Okay.
But Dom put out like their model like 66% in favor of the Hurricanes, and I quoted it, and I was like, the Rangers have the better top end talent, the better goaltending, the more dangerous power play. Plus, they have home ice advantage against a team that has been notably terrible on the road in the playoffs. So someone please fucking explain to me why they're the underdogs here. But listen, I'm not going to complain. I got the Rangers as home dogs in 2 straight games. So, it helped me pay for my flight to Raleigh, which I have in about 2 hours. So thankful for that. But to me, and I'll ask you guys, you might be hockey historians more than I am. Has there ever been a President's Trophy winner that swept in the first round and was then underdogs not only for the series in the second round, but also in the first 2 games with home ice? Like that to me is just insanity. I don't care what team you are.
It's happened 100 times, yeah.
Has it?
100, yeah.
You have that exact number?
Yes, it's happened exactly 100 times.
He's a number cruncher.
Yeah.
He's a number
guy. It is crazy. Like I feel like this is an even matchup. I said it was like kind of a coin flip heading into the series, but the disrespect towards the Rangers, I don't really get. Like, what's your confidence level after 2 games? Because it like largely has been 50-50 and sort of evenly matched at even strength. The problem is Carolina just keeps fucking taking penalties, and they're getting smoked on the PK, and they're not doing anything on special teams. So, like, where do you land after game 2? Igor, unbelievable game. Special teams, the difference, and goaltending.
Yeah. I mean, the Rangers were not the better team last night. Their best 5-on-5 play, in my opinion, was in the overtimes. That's when I thought they had their most dangerous chances at even strength. But, like, Carolina, and, I don't know how you guys feel about, like, the whole expected goals thing. This is something we talked about on our show this morning, but Carolina could have like 5 expected goals. The Rangers could have 1. But the thing is, like, Sebastian Aho has like 3 grade A chances in overtime. He's not finishing them. Panarin gets 1 look, or, Trocheck gets 1 look. Like the Rangers, their talent is just different, right? It's elite level scoring that this Carolina team, the point I've been trying to make to people that watch the game understand, like 9 or 10 times out of 10, if you have a choice between Panarin or Aho, who are you taking? Probably Panarin. If you have a choice between Adam Fox or Jacob Slavin or Brent Burns, who are you taking? Probably Adam Fox. 10 times out of 10, Igor Shesterkin or Freddie Anderson, who are you taking? Like, maybe it's a biased look on my end, but I truly think the Rangers in every position have the better player. And, at 5-on-5, call the Canes what you will, but who's their killer? I know Gensel is technically the Ranger killer. He's got 10 goals in 9 playoff games against the Rangers in his career. He had 2 last night. But, like, I don't know, man. I feel like I'm a little bit too close to it on the Ranger side. I feel like the outside perspective doesn't see it the way I do. And, granted, I watch 75-plus regular season games for this team this year. And, I just really see something different that it feels like the public doesn't.
I feel like if the Hurricanes stop taking so many penalties and the goaltending battle evens out a little bit,
that's not going to happen though. The latter's not happening. Like it's like when you talk about like Aho's not bearing his chances, it's Aho against Igor Shesterkin,
right?
And then it's Panarin against Freddie Anderson. So that gets back to your initial point of like matchup wise, this should favor the Rangers,
right?
How did you feel about the cross check in double overtime?
The penalty on Shea?
Yeah.
On Trocheck.
Listen, I think the calls the whole night, it was like very lopsided where like the Canes got 3 straight. The Rangers got 3 straight. Like it was a weird dynamic of the way the penalties were working. There were some calls that I thought were a little soft and some calls that I thought should have been made. Like Braden Schneider gets destroyed behind the net in overtime on the forecheck, like a blatant trip from behind, a dangerous play, no call. Like not even a hesitation from the official. So like that one I thought would have been one. The Shea one I could have been fine if it wasn't called, but I think that's just the way it goes sometimes.
You're our hockey insider, so we need two updates from you. You asked Peter Laviolette about the camaraderie of the Rangers. Could we get an update on the Rangers' camaraderie? And also, you're a big road room vibes guy.
Yeah.
Did you take the temperature of the Hurricanes' road room, and how do you think the Rangers' camaraderie will translate into being a good road room as the series shifts to Raleigh?
So, my bad as an insider, I didn't go into the Canes room in MSG. Went to the Rangers room both nights. Also, the Canes did not morning skate. They skated at Prudential Center on Monday and didn't morning skate on Tuesday. So there was no availability for Carolina. Are they
Ducking
not
the
working as
media.
hard? Do they not care enough?
Mm.
The Rangers skated on Tuesday. That's a
Turn
narrative
off the
you can run
lights.
with,
Yeah, they're too bright.
But the Rangers vibes. I mean, listen, this is a team that won 6 straight in the playoffs. Like, how could your vibes get any higher? They're having a lot of fun. Guys like Rempe, even though he's playing 4 minutes, still out there having a fucking grand old time, on the bench, laughing, chirping, mucking it up, like doing whatever he can to just keep himself involved. The Rangers vibes are high, but listen, Carolina going back to PNC Arena, it's my first time going there, so I can't speak to it myself, but everyone I've heard from that has played there said it's a pretty tough barn to play in, but Carolina is a different animal on home ice than they are on the road. When I was in their road locker room at UBS Arena on Long Island, you couldn't really get a sense of the vibes because there was only 3 guys in there. They clear out pretty quickly and then only have the media guys available. Every team is different with that. Like the Islanders, all the guys are kind of like waiting in their stalls, and then the media comes in. Some guys walk away if they're not being talked to. Some guys stay. So every team's different in the way they operate. But I honestly forgot what the original question was. But the vibes are great.
It sounds like you really think the vibes for the Hurricanes are bad, but as an insider, you just don't have the proof yet. You don't have you don't have 2 sources on it.
He has suspicions.
Yes, but
developing, all caps, developing.
I think at some point we're going to get a report.
I need to be more accountable and do a better job.
Once you can nail it, we can give you this, actually. Sebastian Aho going into the playoffs was very locked in. He wasn't ticklish, wasn't making jokes, wasn't even laughing at good jokes. So he was very, very focused. We know that firsthand. We did a little investigative work ourselves. Sat down with him, gave him some really good jokes. He was impenetrable. So maybe that's worn off. And that explains why the vibes are bad right now.
So maybe we need to bring Carolina to like a comedy show, lighten the mood up a little bit.
I don't even know if it would work. We brought Sebastian Aho.
Should they do a roast
show? A roast.
Should we do a roast of Sebastian Aho between games 2 and 3?
He would be the worst sport.
I think we should have Seth Jarvis do a roast of Seth Jarvis.
Yes.
And it's televised, but he's the only one in the room. It's just him and a photog. Maybe someone can have a boom mic. But generally, it's just going to be Jarvis roasting Jarvis.
I have to call you guys out, too. You called me out as an insider, but Janet's pretty unhappy. She just said, my God, this is boring. I hope you guys can do better than this. So as hosts, you guys need to step up your game with your guests.
Well, let me ask you this question. I'm bringing you right into the gauntlet now. If you had to, if you could take a guy right now, a goaltender, would you take Jeremy Swayman or would you take Igor Shesterkin?
Don't do that to me.
Come on, buddy.
That's so fucked up.
How you like that, Janet?
I would. If I had to pick a Conn Smythe winner right now, it's Jeremy Swayman, and I'll leave it at that.
And I think that that's the classic. Both teams take their guy. Like I remember back in the day, like when the Bruins would play the Canadiens in the playoffs, it's like, who do you think each team would rather have, like Tuukka or Carey Price? And it's like they both want the guy they have. Their guy is awesome. They don't want to fuck with it.
Sounds like Johnny wants Jeremy Swayman.
I
want Jeremy Swayman for the United States team. That's for sure.
Well, you said Conn Smythe, but like if you're the Rangers right now, would you rather have Swayman or Shesterkin? You're probably not touching it, right?
Shesterkin, yeah, of course. It was just like Tampa and the Rangers a couple years ago. It's like, who's better, Vasilevsky or Shesterkin? Like both teams are saying their guy.
All right, we'll get you out on this because you're a big college hockey guy. You're a big college hockey guy. The Sharks win the lottery. They're going to get Macklin Celebrini. How do you feel about that?
Listen, I think it's great for San Jose. Like that city is a great sports city when the teams are doing well. We've seen the Golden State Warriors, have a great fan base in their years. The Sharks, 2016, Joe Thornton, Joe Pavelski, Patrick Marleau, Brent Burns, like those teams always had great crowds. The Shark Tank is always a place I've wanted to go to. I also think, Grinelli tweeted it yesterday, but it's something that's been talked about a lot amongst college hockey people. Like Colby has brought it up a bunch of times. Celebrini going to San Jose now maybe incentivizes Will Smith to sign and leave Boston College to go play at San Jose, which then, would affect Ryan Leonard's decision. Maybe he signs in Washington, and then Gabe Perreault, who knows what he does. But there's going to be there's going to be a trickle down effect, I think, in college hockey, or at least it's going to be talked about. So we'll see what happens. But great for Macklin Celebrini. He gets to be near his dad, who works for the Warriors. Emily Kaplan put out a great feature on him yesterday. yesterday. So, good vibes, I guess, in San Jose, right? There's no, they can't get any worse, I guess, right?
We all silly like the mayor.